This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Alrighty, and so it begins. Deja, thank you so much for the subscription. That is 6 months, half of a year. Okay, so we can't really click on anything. Also, when I press E, it makes like keyboard typing sounds, which is very fun. I hate Mondays. Alrighty. So I'm gonna play through the. I've played this game before.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I've played this game before, so I'm gonna play through the true ending and follow all of his instructions to do the basic ending, and then we'll start fucking around. Bye, blueberries. Thank you for hanging out with us. There's no one here. Ooh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
It's so quiet.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let it ball up inside you. Take it out passive-aggressively on other coworkers. Resent coworkers for not supporting you more. Ha ha ha. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header and throw some bevel on all the text. This will ensure a calm and productive work environment. Things. Money. More money. Things, but with money to buy more things. Graphs. Graphs about things and money. Aw, blueberries, thank you so much for the 200 bits. You have a wonderful rest of your day. Synergize. Core value expenditures. Shift global market paradigms. Monetize free to play. Oh no. Oh, the broom closet. I love the broom closet. I think he said
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yes. Upstairs in this very stereotypical office environment. Hello?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Just wanted to take a second to say, who the hell needs a room this tall? I am a tall man, but this is excessive. This is very excessive. Spooky. Oh, look, you can see all the insulation in the walls. I love how they make this place like kind of like spooky and decrepit. It almost has like a sort of cosmic horror, like fear of the unknown element to it, because everything feels wrong, like uncanny valley. Okay, hold on. Maybe I put this too high. Hello, Cloudbot.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Oh. Hello, painted square.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
They definitely have more obvious options sometimes, but sometimes they hide some stuff really well in this game, and it's very fun. Oh, hold on. Let me boost the volume for a second here. Oh, the ambiance. Some fucking spooky ambiance.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I definitely do have the strength. Of course I do. Oh.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Where's 427? There's me. Ooh, my office is empty. I love it. It's so spooky and fun.
This mind control
Insanely big
facility,
room.
it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
I guess we'll just find out.
No. He refused to believe it.
Yeah.
He couldn't accept it.
This is
His
my
own
story.
life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it?
Yes.
Was it even possible?
No.
Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Of course not. That would be ridiculous.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Once and for all. Hello, Conchata. Beautiful.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp?
You better
What other
start
mysteries
talking,
did this
pal.
strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Indeed, Stanley stepped through the open door.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Stanley was so happy that indeed he decided to go back and do it all over and over again. Forever and to the end of time. And yet here we are, having returned to
All
the
of his
scene of the
coworkers
crime.
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. That was my line. I'm not very happy about the fact that you stole it from me. But I suppose we shall accept it. Eli, you're reminding me of David Attenborough, and I think that's exactly how you spell his name, yes. Stanley approached.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
He entered the door on his left. That was my line. Thank you very much. Stanley came to room 413, and he peeked in on his co-worker, who was no longer there. And he realized his co-worker, employee number 413, had left behind very important paperwork scattered about. He knew that he would have to report this to management.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office.
But first,
stepped
Stanley
into
was
the
going
broom
to step
closet,
into the broom
but there was
closet.
nothing here.
Because
So
there
he
were very
turned around
important
and got
things
back on
in the
track.
broom closet. Naturally, there are a bunch of things in here that Stanley could use to further the plot.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
And yet Stanley stayed because he knew the narrator was unreliable.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
And yet Stanley felt himself rush with purpose.
Are you really still in the broom closet?
Yes,
Standing around doing nothing?
of course.
Why?
Because
Please
this is
offer me
important.
some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Indeed. So this right here, this broom closet, it is a secret entrance to another dimension.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
And yet here we are. Look! This coil of copper wire.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching
It's a little
path.
rude the way you're
Maybe
interrupting
when
me.
you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
I think my friends will be concerned about the fact that you are trying to drive me away from very important discovery.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Rude. Very rude, indeed.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose.
I suppose so.
Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Or perhaps we are still looking for all of the interesting things left inside. Look, this roll of duct tape is sitting off the edge of this counter. So much so that it actually blocks my movement. Perhaps this is an interesting discovery indeed.
Ah, second player. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to.
Perhaps.
Fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Indeed. Well then. Perhaps I will humor you.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Or perhaps I could go downstairs and see what... Oh, hello. Oh, heavens. I cannot read what that says. It definitely has real words on it. It's not just scribbles. But I cannot read what it says. Something about... It's what all the cool kids are doing, I'm convinced. I'm going to look up what this says eventually, and it's going to be great. Hello?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield.
Yes.
And it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought.
Indeed, that is
I
rather
really thought it all
strange.
very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams. The truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
Yes.
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons.
It's
Please.
all I want.
It's all I want. I want my apartment,
And
my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I
I'm
am
real.
Please, just
I'm
someone
a
tell
real
me
boy.
I'm real. I must
Please.
be real. I must be.
Please.
Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Father, when can I go on my own?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
The end. Oh, wait. Oh, I kid, of course. How could it possibly be the
All
end?
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Something important that I'm missing. There's always something important. So this is one of the secret endings that I know about. This computer, or at least one of the computers in the office, will be on, and you have to press it a certain number of times. So you literally have to run through multiple times to get that ending. But that's okay. Obviously, 417 just climbed his way into the ceiling and is living like a strange rat person now. And that seems like a little bit of a stretch.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
It's a great question. What does that mean? Hello? Oh, bye. Wasn't expecting it to be so forthright with this.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
I don't like this.
As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Uh-huh.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Whee!
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe
Oh.
features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Uh-huh.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
This is so Uncanny
Oh, well, this
Valley with the
sounds
cardboard
delightful.
shit.
I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Hello there. Ooh. Okay, so somebody sent me what that note said. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Maria. Hi, Lonnie. I wrote this in first period and left it in your locker on the way to second. It's what all the cool kids are doing, I've decided. Write me back. Also, here's an idea for something to draw. 2 cats on a motorcycle. And then the person in pink wrote below that, hey, this is a good idea. What all the cool kids are actually doing is sending each other pages in their beepers. But we're cooler than them because guess what? They can't put this on a beeper. And then they drew a cat driving a motorcycle that's like anthropomorphic with a normal cat underneath it, and there's an alien UFO and some cactuses and shit behind it. Thank you, Maria. Appreciate. I appreciate it. Yeah, I hate this. This is so gross and spooky.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Oh, for sure, of course.
Is it broken? What's going on here?
Oh,
should
no.
should we be moving somewhere or oh, there we go.
Huh.
All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
I don't like this at all.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Yes.
All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Yep. Oh, this is fantastic. This is... Wait, hold on. What's this connected to? It's not connected to anything! And I can't jump outside of that. Okay. Alrighty. So what?
Is that it?
What can we possibly...
Surely that's not all the new content.
Of course.
There has to be something else, right?
Of course. Of course. Of course. There's nothing back here, right? Like, they didn't hide anything behind me. That would be silly. Can I go back down? No, it won't let me go back down. I don't know. I don't know. I have used up all of my jumps. I am now doomed. Cool. Cool. If this just takes me back to the main game, that'd be
Another
so
elevator.
fucking funny.
Stanley, I have to say, Initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping.
Right.
Is this what passes for exciting new content? If
In
this is new
AAA,
content,
yes.
then
Yes,
I
it
could
sure
just
does.
read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more. Very good.
Yay!
I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it.
Ooh.
I'm ready for whatever it is.
Oh, I hate that. That's discomforting.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm
What are these lights
infuriated
isn't
and
even
I'm
on?
offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations.
Of course.
If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always.
Oh, of course.
What do you say, friend?
Oh. Okay, I didn't get a choice. Ooh! I'm still 427, so that's normal. Hello. This is very different. Oh, it's a picture of what I would be seeing. That's cool.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you
Oh
something.
God! Listen, Pennywise. I don't think so, motherfucker. I don't think so.
You don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a dork anyway, so who cares?
Fuck you. Fine.
Oh, never mind. You're not a dork.
Sunset. Well, maybe I am a dork. How's that for you? Maybe I am a dork. God damn it. Well, I have to go in there. I gotta try it. Hello. Hello. Don't jump scare me, you fucking asshole. Coffee nut. Oh. Is this really? This is the secret? You have me crawling in a fucking vent like a rat? Is this what my life has been reduced to? Seriously?
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be.
Okay.
So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret.
Hold on.
Take a look.
This looks fucking awesome, dude. Oh, it's like a beautiful land. A beautiful fantasy land.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want.
Oh.
Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
It's giving me, like, hardcore Firewatch vibes right now. Oh, I can't go back. Oh, well, that's pretty, at least. It's making me think of Firewatch, and that's making me extremely depressed, but also really happy at the same time. The Memory Zone. Oh.
You see,
Zone,
Stanley,
sweet
doesn't the
zone.
Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity.
Oh, of course.
Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Collector's Edition. Oh. Audience Award. Oh. The British Academy of Film and Television Arts Award. Oh. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, games used to be great, didn't they? All the games today are just trash. Nothing could ever beat old games. Oh, look at it. It's beautiful. A Mozilla Firefox. A trip down memory lane. Oh, smile because it happened. Ding. Is this the first dollar they made by selling the game? Demo. Ooh. Oh, it'd be cool if they actually like let me play the demo within the game, wouldn't it? That'd be cool. Go outside. Don't play for 5 years. It is impossible to get this achievement. I like that. That's fun. Nominee for Game Innovation, for Debut, and for Story. Creators surprisingly down to earth. Mr. Krabs. Oh, with his... This is my first dollar. Stanley Parable deals tough choices. Oh. Dude, it's beautiful out here. Also, this looks like a weird church, and I'm not excited about that. Oh, I thought it was gonna let me sit here. This music is beautiful.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable.
Oh, wait, what the
like
fuck?
This stunning triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote,
Yay!
"Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
New elevator content. I just want to say fuck you, game, for not making me realize that the music was going to stop as soon as I walked in the door. That's bullshit. Wait a second. What's this about? Memory zone maintenance. Knowing your city. Oh, fun. Okay, well, I was hoping to perform some maintenance because obviously the memory zone is a little faulty. Person of the year. Stanley. Oh, and here's the models of Stanley and Mariella? Was that her name? Ooh, this was them making the game in an old version of what, the Source Engine? The original remake. Oh. Because this is technically a remake of a remake. Oh. Oh. Preparing snake oil salesman routine. Oh.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Oh. Hello. The Serious Room 2013. Hold on, I want to go in there.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before.
It's kind of
What's this?
spooky,
What's down
honestly.
here?
Oh.
Oh
Oh.
no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor.
Oh,
I
no.
haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here.
Oh,
Surely
it's
these
great.
reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Oh, it's great. It's great. It's an apocalyptic wasteland.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Oh, this is so bizarre, going from the office building to this big old open space. Can't go in there. Oh, that's spooky.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I?
I mean,
You
not
can tell me
really.
if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
I mean, nothing's perfect. There's always ways to improve.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue.
But I don't want to
And
shut you
here's
up.
something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. By the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say... the story and the choices, or what have you.
Oh,
and
no!
Therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once. So now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't.
Oh, it really does just repeat.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary unnecessary verbal flourishes and
Oh,
lengthy ruminations
I don't wanna
on
skip
the
it
nature
again.
of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations.
I liked it.
Not that, of course, you
I thought
need
it was
a description of
fantastic.
it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto.
A thesis, perhaps.
Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think.
Yes.
Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice.
Right.
That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your Greek gift of mortal and yet timeless thought?
Right.
Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once.
Well, naturally.
That you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time,
Right.
by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them.
Correct.
Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one.
I think it's
it
more
has much
accurate,
more
yeah.
of a treatise vibe to it.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel.
Mouthfeel,
It is rich
yes.
with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will.
Yeah.
See, now you've gotten me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day.
Right.
Okay, look. I have a method for exactly this sort of situation.
Correct.
And I do find myself in this situation frequently.
Oh, interesting.
I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other.
Yeah, go
in
for
which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations.
It sounds
All
faultless.
right, here we go. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise,
Sorry, not to interject
manifesto.
here. Keep going,
Treatise,
so you can
manifesto.
work your
Treatise,
strategy here.
manifesto.
But I have to say personally,
Treatise,
I do think that
manifesto.
manifesto has the
Treatise,
mouthfeel and it has
manifesto.
the grandiose
Treatise,
nature that you're looking for, of
manifesto.
course. Sorry, I'm not trying to
Treatise,
talk over you or anything. I'm
manifesto.
still listening.
Treatise,
But I think that
manifesto.
manifesto also has
Treatise,
more
manifesto.
direction behind it,
Treatise,
and the direction can be
manifesto.
misunderstood.
Treatise,
Whereas
manifesto.
treatise is very
Treatise,
much a
manifesto.
neutral
Treatise,
statement.
manifesto.
The simple idea of a
Treatise,
treatise in and of
manifesto.
itself, almost a
Treatise,
treaty
manifesto.
perhaps,
Treatise,
would work pretty well.
manifesto.
You know,
Treatise,
it's very
manifesto.
hard to
Treatise,
misunderstand.
manifesto.
Very hard
Treatise.
to.
Well, there's
Come to a
sport.
fault.
You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated
I think
on
you can
exactly
delete it.
how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on
Actually,
before
you
I
can
went about
edit
this
it.
whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely.
Oh, I do
Or
too.
perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30,
Oh.
45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again.
Okay.
I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here?
Yeah, I'm also
Where
curious.
did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place?
That's a great
I don't
question.
think one can enter a room without a door of some sort or a window
Some sort
or
of
something like that.
entrance,
Do you
yeah.
see a window anywhere? porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall?
Yeah, let me give it a try.
Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here. We need a door.
It doesn't
We
seem
need a
to be
door of some
working.
kind. I can work with... Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
Oh, God.
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God...
Yeah, it's definitely...
Stanley.
Oh.
You're back.
Oh.
You're back.
It's dark as
my
fuck in here.
goodness. I have someone to talk to again.
I'm sorry,
Stanley,
buddy.
I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks.
Oh, God.
I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single
sorry.
person to speak with.
I'm
And
sorry.
you'd think that that's just how it's always been,
I
right?
know, right?
Me talking and you saying nothing.
It's rough, dude.
We-
Oh, God, it's just dark. Oh, no.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time.
Right.
I stopped keeping track after a year.
Oh,
Have
yikes.
you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret.
Yep.
There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time.
I'm
Stanley.
sorry.
Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past.
Naturally.
And when that feeling had begun to subside,
He's about to break
what
up with
took
you.
its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant.
It's
In
terrifying.
that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collective.
Right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please. Oh, there's still... Oh, no. The power is running out. This fan is breaking down. The plant is dead. The clock's dead. I'm sorry. Uh-oh. Oh no, the fire extinguisher's going out. That fan is definitely dead. There's nothing back here, is there? No. Ow, that's so
But they didn't
loud.
understand the
Oh.
game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition.
Right.
But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But
Right.
then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world.
Uh-huh. I hate this.
The end is never the end.
Ah!
The end is never the end. 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 Is never the end.
I hate this. I hate it so much. Ah! Oh no. Oh god. This is insane and also amazing, but also what the fuck? beautiful. Oh, I love this, but also I hate it so much. Hey, some little nuts and berries that are actually JPEGs. It's beautiful. These are particle effects made out of JPEGs. Oh, you can see the trees up there. I could, if this was another video game, I'd be able to climb up this and get out of here. But, yikes. Oh, no. Oh my god, there's some spooky fucking noises out there. I hate this. Also, this just makes me want to play some horror games again. Stop! Stop it! It's so long that there are now ghosts hanging out. Oh, 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 it's all tilted. What the actual fuck? What happened? Oh no! Dune looks different here. What the hell? This is so cool. But also, what the fuck? Goodbye. Ah, you're gonna start me over with that! Oh my god. That was really cool, and I liked it a lot.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Oh.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Right. Naturally. Oh my god, that was...
Oh, good. You notice my sign.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
I'm scared to see it, dude. I don't know how I felt about the last one. It was pretty spooky. Strawberry, thank you very much for the hydrate and the stretch. Oh, it just like punched us right through that whole loading screen as well. Oh my god.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be.
Right.
The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy.
Well, one would assume so.
Forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further.
Oh.
Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
The end is never the end
You see,
again.
isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Oh, of course. Naturally. Investor Showcase.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you
Bois,
think? Ultra
oui,
Deluxe?
bois,
What does it even mean?
dos,
But the
bois.
Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there.
Taste
it's
the sequel.
future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Yeah, it's definitely something. Oh, look at that. Wow. You really went all out on this for me, didn't you, buddy? I appreciate it, because, you know, this is really cool and stuff. It's very, Also, this is a very, like, modern office. They're back. 2 doors. New content is out. New content part 2 is in. Old and busted, new hotness. Hell yeah. Boring sections of the chart. Cool red section of the chart. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. This is going to knock him dead. More the Stanley Parable. Better the Stanley Parable. The color red. Hell yeah, dude. Oh, I love this. This is awesome. Oh, are these these are the logo ideas. Oh, they look great, dude. I think this one is the best because the original logo is like pretty simplistic. And Roman numerals were never like a specialization for that. Otherwise that second one would look pretty good. But that's very like Godfather, you know, aesthetic. That one right there just doesn't really fit the energy of the game. That one could. The dissonance between all of the fonts and, well, the fonts are the same, but the dissonance between the size is very different, which makes it, you know, kind of fit with the strangeness of the series. I like it, dude. This is great work. This is great work that you're doing. This is great work. That's cool, but I think that's supposed to be like a backwards question mark, but it just doesn't look. It's not close enough to really, you know, fit. Oh, that's kind of weird. I like the idea that he's just poking the desk while he's typing.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be.
Right.
But let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical.
Yeah.
Really.
Sequels are good. Portal 2, Half-Life 2, Batman Arkham Asylum 2, Arkham City, Divinity Original Sin 2, Doom 2, Aladdin 2, Return of Jafar, Dark Souls 2. Yeah, people like sequels. Sequels are cool. The prequel to the Stanley Parable 2 is the sequel to the Stanley Parable is the prequel to the Stanley Parable 2 is the sequel to the Stanley Parable. Oh, okay. That's cool. That's actually a cool rendition of the end is never the end is never the end. Sort of circling that away. That's pretty spooky over there. This way to the show floor. Oh, look at this. Look at all the work you put into this, buddy. Were you really gonna bust them all in? Damn. I feel like I'm really gonna get to see something cool, you know? There's an Aladdin 2. Yes, there is, and it's not good.
Here we are.
Wow!
Try out some of the new features.
The reassurance bucket. Oh, we're heading for that. Merch. Oh, I can't get in there to see any closer, but the compendium of new content. Oh, please no screenshots. Okay, but hold on. I want to go check out this reassurance bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Oh, okay.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair,
Yes.
must already be sweeping through your body.
Oh, I feel
And in
so much
fact,
better.
Can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
Oh, thank you.
I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Oh, I appreciate that.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they?
They do.
All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, thank you, buddy. I really appreciate it. Oh, cool. I can go out now with the bucket. That's what I was hoping for. I was a little worried that you were going to take it away from me. Worried? What am I talking
Does
about?
anyone
Why
give
would
out
I be
awards
worried? I've
for
got the bucket.
Most enjoyable bucket in a video game?
Right?
That really should be an award if it isn't already. Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Happy 12th birthday, step niece. That's so funny. I like Get Well Someday.
You know,
It's so
sometimes when you solicit another
fucked.
person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along.
Okay, listen,
Happy
asshole.
12th birthday, step-niece it is.
Listen, I was actually like genuinely really excited for that. Maria with 11 gifted subs. Hello. How's it going? Hello there. Hi. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. What's going on here? What's going on? I really wanted that balloon, but okay. Hey, thank you. Thank you very much for the 11 gifted subs. You know that 11 is like a lot. You probably were just trying to do one and you typed an extra one on accident.
Maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
No, like, oh, they actually put them into the pictures. No, that's the thing. Like,
Come now. You've already made your choice. It's true that you chose badly, but we all have to move on from our mistakes.
fuck off. No, I genuinely do really like this button. I like the Get Well Some. If you wanted my input, and we're gonna do your own choice anyways, why bother? Why even ask? You know what I mean? Oh, the jump circle. Oh, but I
You know
already...
what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as
Hell
well.
yes.
Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time you saw the jump circle? Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
You know, I had a feeling there was a reason I didn't want to use the wall. Well, guess what? There was a reason. Now I got no jumps. I got no jumps left. No jumps remaining. Player tears. God damn it. Free new and easy achievement. Oh. This feels like a fucking scam. It's in the basement, dude. Why would I want to go into the spooky basement for an achievement? That sounds horrible. What's going on over here? I do wish I could sprint. That'd be nice. Distance, space-time. Time like infinity. Hole like infinity. Space like infinity. Ah. What's in here?
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, A hole that you can fall down forever.
Uh-huh.
That's right. Infinite falling.
Right.
You can fall until the end of time if you like. A Stanley
Achievement's getting one of your kidneys stolen. Okay, but listen, dude. As fun as this sounds, I don't know for sure that I want to try it because this is a nightmare. As you can hear, it's pretty spooky sounding down there. What the fuck? Hello, Doc McCoolville. Bye.
You see,
Oh.
isn't it wonderful?
At least
One of
it's
my more
lit.
ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Thinking about the one episode of Gravity Falls.
Now,
Yeah.
I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Okay, but on this spectrum, does the later eventually lead to me seeing something cool? Because this definitely
Okay,
seems
Stanley,
like it's...
I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole.
Oh, that's what I thought.
Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is.
Oh, yeah,
Is it
naturally.
Infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a...
Oh,
Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling.
right.
What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely?
Oh, somebody was smoking
I
down
figured
here.
the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think
Yeah.
we both said some things we didn't mean.
Mhm.
Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite?
See,
If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
my one problem with that statement there, Mr. Narrator, mostly infinite is not a thing. Either it is finite or it is infinite. You know, semantics. If you want to exaggerate for the sake of salesmanship and whatnot, that's understandable.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Right. Okay, but first...
Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you.
Oh,
The
listen.
problem is that you like holes too much.
Okay, listen here.
A normal person would have said, "Yep, that's an
A
infinite
normal
hole
person
right
has a
there.
very
Goes on forever till the end
rational
of time.
like
Don't
of
need to see it
holes."
all, but not you. Oh no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of. Oh, did the hole seem even shorter to you this time?
Very
I
much
couldn't
so.
help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole.
Right.
I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite,
Right.
but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite.
It sure seems
I
that
suspect
way.
that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability in marketing.
Marketing,
What's
that's the
going
word I was
on
trying to
here?
find.
Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
let's try
do
something.
want to point
Let's
out
pop back
though.
up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
Yeah, that sounds great. I do want to point out though that this is definitely
Well, there it is.
finite.
The shame of my lie has come. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with
I'm sorry.
holes,
I'm
but at
sorry. I
this
didn't mean to
depth,
cut you off.
I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh,
Velvet, thank you for the
who am I
stretch.
to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
I have to teleport to get out of this. Ah! Oh shit, the teleport's not working. Oh
Is
no.
the teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this.
Fill in
I'm
the
out.
hole?
Goodbye, Stanley.
Oh.
You couldn't bear to be away from the hole.
What?
And now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole. I get to do literally anything else.
I mean, at least I've
care,
got the
Stanley.
bucket.
I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
I mean, I guess I've got the hole, the bucket of reassurance. That's... What the fuck is that? Hello? Hello? Oh shit. Narrator? I could use the teleport button right about now. I'm gonna get eated. Bye. This is so fucking intense. What the hell? Oh my god, look at you. This right here, this is the change your perception. Hell yes. You know, this is exactly what I always wanted in my infinite hole. Oh. I don't like that. Hell yes, dude. This is really fucking loud, though.
My head's stronger. You're no longer using up this space of mine.
What the
My head's stronger. You're no longer using up this space of mine.
What the fuck? Oh. Oh, hello! Oh my god! Look at them! Oh my god! The babies! Oh. Spooky. Now I feel like I'm at the bottom of the ocean. Spooky. Oh, that's beautiful. This music does not fit for it, though. What in the flying fuck? Whoa. Hello. Ah! What the fuck are you? Oh my god. That is a spooky little dude there. This is so intense. I need to turn the music down a little bit because it's actually...
Stanley!
Hey!
Stanley!
Hey, boss.
Oh, good, you're awake.
Oh.
It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley. Because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole?
Oh.
From the looks of things,
Okay.
you and I will have many, many years here in this hole.
It sure seems
and
that
I'm
way,
looking
boss.
forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley.
Work it out.
I'll be back.
Toodle pip. Okay, but, whoa. Why do I feel like I'm... Oh! Are you about to take me again? We going for another adventure? Oh. Okay. Oh! Ooh!
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Okay, so hold on. I already have my... Oh, it's just the red lighting. For a second I thought there was like blood on my bucket. Can I get another bucket? Oh, listen to that music. Well, I don't want to put the bucket back, naturally. I love this bucket. It's great. Okay, so... Screenshots. We already have the pictures. Can I can't change this? No, I can't. Well, fuck!
You better start talking, pal.
Alright, okay, fine. Okay, so I went down there, and this led me through that whole bullshit. So I guess I gotta find another way around. Hello? It doesn't seem like there's a whole lot going on around here. It just keeps going. Just like that hole. Huh. Well, this isn't exactly what I was expecting, but, you know, there's definitely worse ways to go around it, I suppose. God, I kind of wish I had a few jumps for the jump circle, but what do I know? Free achievement. You know, I never did nothing for free, but, suppose I'll take something
Now,
for free.
here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident?
Right.
Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you.
Yeah!
It's as simple as that.
Oh, that sounds great, buddy. Thank you, mister.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified.
Oh.
This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature.
Oh.
Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Okay, but, what if I figured out a way to fix this thingamajig here and we made it work? How's that sound? Sounds pretty good to me, I gotta say. Now, if we just take this doohickey here and we tap some things here and press some buttons, slap a little button on here, tap the little Mr. Maker here, and how's that? Okay, seems like the lever is a little pull me, please. Yeah, I'm working on it, my friend. Well, I suppose, you know, I can wait. I can wait, that's for sure. What if you use an auto clicker on the level? I have a feeling that it might have something interesting to
What
say.
else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Well, there's some up here, I think. Oh, can you find them? Oh, I wonder what they're hiding in here. Collect them all. Oh, I'm not a big fan of collecting shit. But, sure, let's give it a try.
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines.
Ooh.
And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them.
Oh!
I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Well, I gotta say, I really don't like the look of this place, that's for sure. This is kind of spooky and fucked up. I hate this. I hate this with a passion. I gotta say, it's a fucking nightmare just knowing that there's
God, it
5
really
other of
is
these
the worst when you
fucking
collect
things out in the
everything
world
and then
somewhere.
they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Oh, that's a nightmare, that is. That's a nightmare. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no, I don't like this at all, I have to say. I don't like this at all. That's, it's not a positive thing, that's for sure. You know what would be the worst possible thing they could do is actually only put 5 in the game, and then you can never find any more. Oh, that thing spins. That's kind of cool, I think. Go fuck yourself. Expo Hall. Okay, so I can go. Okay, so that way. That's where I came from. What if I go upstairs? Settings, World Champion, Mostly Infinite Hole, Free Achievement. Oh, new thing over there. Let's go up here and check out the settings. Oh. Darn. I was thinking maybe they would have hid something in here. Fuck! What are the big spinny boys, the 6 collectible? I mean, I wouldn't put it past him to make some stupid shit like that. Oh, but wait. I'm a little worried that this epilogue. Hold on.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley?
Sure would.
Yes, it would go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Okay, that's fine, I suppose. The button that says the name of the player that's playing the game. This sounds like fun.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want?
Oh, yeah.
And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
It sure sounds like a fun trick there, mister. Let's see how it works, I suppose.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature.
Why not?
Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget who you
I'm
are,
Jim.
and simply become a person named Jim.
My name's Jim.
I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim. Sleeping and waking as Jim.
Oh, yeah.
Falling in love and
Sure.
being heartbroken as Jim. Seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim.
Yeah.
And as Jim, watching your dreams crumble into dust.
Oh,
Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
Uh,
If so, then
sure.
please step forward and press the button.
Hey, Eli and Jim, 3 letters both ways. They must have just messed up on the birth certificate.
Jim.
Ah! Hell yeah!
You see?
This is the greatest
What a
game
thrill,
ever.
What a rush. That was you.
Oh, it feels so
Button
good. Thank you.
describing Do it again. Do it again.
Oh, yes. Hell yes. My name is
Jim.
Jim. Oh,
It hits even
oh, it knew.
harder the second
It
time.
knew.
If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money.
I'll give you all
Let's take a
$3
break
to
from
my
the Jim
name.
button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Okay, but what if we hear it again?
Whoa there, cowboy.
Cowboy?
That person can be too much, Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away.
Oh.
Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Jim.
I've got my bucket. I've got my hopes and dreams all dashed about ever being Jim again. All right. Oh well. What are you gonna do? Have you played those games, Eli? Puppet Combo or Chilla's Art? I have never heard of those games before. Cassie, thank you for the hydrate and the stretch. Let me take a big old snack of chicken here while I'm at it. Oh yeah, it's a big old. There we go. Oh no. Okay,
I
so
suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
yeah, probably. More of the same, but in a good way. Oh, the baby's all grown up. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so did you figure something out for the epilogue or no? No. Okay. It's grilled chicken. Lightly breaded, of course. I do like some lightly breaded stuff. What do you call that voice for a future voice redeem? Okay, well, I can't go into the settings champion thing. Naturally, I did the collectibles thing. Is there anything over here that I missed? Otherwise, I gotta go that way. To the exit. I've got my reassurance bucket. I already went through the button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. I love that. That's so great. Alright, well, I think that is everything. I guess I better head out the door. To the exit. Collectibles, infinite hole, the settings champion, merch, free achievement, this map, the junk circle. Yeah, so it seems like I did everything. Everything that's listed anyways.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Oh, hello. Somebody left their bag here. Oh, look at all this. It looks great, dude. You did a great job with this. Oh, it's so cool. Oh.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together
Sure.
as one single coherent video game, but
Right.
I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
I can't wait, dude.
Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
The little horde.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind.
Oh!
Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement.
You motherfucker.
Yes. This
I
is
saw
much
those
better.
fucking
I feel good about it.
collectibles.
Here we go. Version 2.
Oh, there's another one.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot
No.
of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but
Right.
they don't add up to anything.
I think
I wanted more
you
than
don't have
anything to
enough.
create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the
confidence in
first
yourself.
game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and
Yeah.
simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it.
Ooh.
Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game.
Naturally.
Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2.
I believe
Let
in
me see
you.
if I can whip something up.
I believe in you.
Perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Let's do it. Oh. Oh wow, this is fucky on the eyes. Oh, it's so cool, dude. It's so cool. I love it. Whoa. My eyes.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard.
Hell yeah, you did.
Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley.
Uh-oh.
Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting.
Who put up
or
all these
even
balloons?
say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
I love it. I love it. Hello, Mara.
You better start talking, pal.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
Ooh.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Wouldn't it be just so funny if everything just got super silly Whoa, why is that being super mechanical and weird? Why?
Why?
Why is that? There we go. There we go. Okay. It's been doing that lately for some reason. It'll get like super mechanical. Okay.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Fuck yeah, I did. Oh, I feel so full of hope and excitement and comfort and understanding. Oh, it's lovely. Okay, the office is a little different now, which is discomforting, but that's okay, because I've got the bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I love it. Okay, but how about if we do this?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
I love this game. It's so good.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Oh, it's just fantastic. The bucket knows exactly what to do. I feel so calm.
Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure.
Of course it is.
Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right, then walking to the lounge, then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired.
Truly. Truly inspiring. Okay, let's see what we got here. We've got
Perhaps
yellow.
this was where the bucket felt most truly at home.
Is that
Here
true,
in the
Bucket?
employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home.
Oh, well, I'm glad I brought you here, Bucket. Okay, we've got yellow, purple, red, green, and 3 different types of water.
Stanley decided to just give the bucket absolutely as much time as it needed to be in the lounge. Clearly, the bucket and
Bree.
the employee lounge shared a special connection.
Truly special. Eli, do you play Metal Gear Rising Revengeance? I have never played it, but I have seen it played. I sat with a friend of mine while he played through the whole thing. It was hilarious. Bucket? Are you okay here now? Do you feel comfortable and safe? I sure hope so. Look at that cup. It says fuel. Oh, it's so silly. Okay, Bucket, let's go.
But finally, the bucket was done being in the lounge, and they took the first open door on their left to get back to business.
Okay, but we could go this way. Because there's some cool stuff in
No,
here.
said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else.
Yeah.
The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Sounds like a plan, boss. Let's fucking go.
Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Sure!
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk.
Right.
But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
There's one of those bullshit collectibles. I don't see a way that I could have gotten over to it. There's a vent. Oh, there's a vent somewhere.
In here, said the bucket. Go into this dark room over here. Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Dude, if a bucket ever told me, go in here, I would, especially if you referenced the dark room, I'd be fucking scared, dude. Okay, Mr. Bucket, don't take my kidneys.
Now pick up the phone, said the bucket. Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together. Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket. Can't you see? Oh, goodness.
I thought it was
I
funny.
must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is. It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
Yay!
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds?
Hell yeah!
Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes.
Woo!
Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body.
What?
These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next,
Eli, E-L-I.
provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time.
Ooh.
With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds.
Hell yeah.
And no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny."
I'm
Let's
Dunny with
practice
the
screaming,
funny.
"I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
I'm Dunny with the funny.
Good. This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy.
Woo!
Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian.
Yeah.
An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp.
Oh, you
After
know.
all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to
Whoa.
fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence.
What the
and
fuck?
will very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause.
What?
Just as our children must do after us.
It's Starship
and their
Troopers
children
now?
after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
Cool, it's Starship Troopers now.
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then.
Naturally.
So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery.
Right.
Come along, let's head back.
Okay, but what if we plug the phone back in? Oh, okay. Right. Ooh. Oh, just a little tag on the box. Hello, Darkling. How's it going? So, about this, he put a fence on this.
This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How
it's gone.
ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me.
I believe
Thank
it.
goodness we had the instructional video.
Right.
Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now.
I know.
Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure.
100%. You would just be some
spoke to
dude.
Stanley. The bucket spoke. The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
Right. Comedy is also about, going with the flow. You know, improvisational comedy is great. Do not lie. If you're lying right now, stop. I'm not lying. Improvisational comedy is extremely important. Oh, 452, you scamp. Oh. We're back. Are you okay? Are you happy, Bucket? Are you happy here? Good. If the narrator says I'm done with the funny, I'm gonna lose my shit. I completely agree. Ooh. Looking at memes in there. Looking at memes. What a productive work. Wow, 445. You're are you a noir detective? What the hell is going on in there?
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left. No, 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 no. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video?
I'm sorry.
I think this was all covered very clearly.
I'm sorry.
There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done.
I'm
the joke
sorry.
is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud? Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left. No, 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 no. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back. Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Makes sense.
No, 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 no. You were supposed to go through the door on the right,
Right.
leading back. Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left.
You scamp. I can't go back, can I? I can't. Okay. Oh. Oh, I don't like this at all. Is he gonna kill me?
What? We're back at the phone already? No, no, no. What's going on? There were supposed to be several rooms leading up to this. There was supposed to be a build-up to this point, a dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone.
Right.
But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to.
I'm sorry,
and
buddy.
it's all my fault. I
No,
must have
no, no.
forgotten that the
Don't blame
phone room
yourself.
comes immediately after the 2 doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy.
Oh,
I'm
don't do
nothing.
this to yourself, man.
I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video again. Surely that will help me improve my...
Yes! Oh.
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes. Well, let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not? Is it the delivery? Pale with shame. Pale with shame? Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal, I think I saw it playing guitar. No.
Oh my
No,
god.
No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes. I need more instructional videos. That's exactly what it is. That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More instructional videos. Let's see.
It's interesting because it's almost like they just took the endings and they added a bucket version of them, because that is one of the endings, is you don't listen to him about the phone.
Wait,
But
Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken. No, the orders were still missing. For now.
There is an ending like that without the whole bucket and joke aesthetic. So that's really interesting, actually, that it's almost like they just made bucketized versions of the endings, which I am all here for. I find that hilarious.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
I feel so comforted.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay, but
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
what if...
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo
Here we
lift,
go.
Yes, go there. Go to the cargo lift.
I hate myself for...
Found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines.
I hate myself
no
for even
reward for collecting all of these.
bothering.
Only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You
Yeah.
can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Uh-huh. Fucking trash, dude. I don't give a fuck about these figurines. I know that if you jump down, you just die. But from up here, they could have made it like it's... I don't know. I don't want to jump down yet. I want to see what's in this vent. Gotta see. Oh. Oh, I don't like this. Oh, I don't like this at all. Oh, I don't like this at all. Hello?
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore.
What the fuck?
The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up.
Dude.
No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it.
I think you need therapy, dude.
I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure?
Thanks for the hydrate.
I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
Remember when I mentioned cosmic horror at the beginning of the stream? What the fuck? Oh my
All of
god.
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
About that. Oh Apparently.
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
My life is a lie. My life is a lie. What is this? This is different. This is very different.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
I don't know that the
And
bucket
here
is
it was.
evil.
Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No. Never
I don't know if the
mind.
bucket is evil or
The
if
bucket was
this
wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk.
Right.
But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
We'll see about that. Hello?
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here?
Wait.
Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point.
What?
But if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here.
Oh, fuck me. Another dark room for my kidneys. What the fuck?
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket.
I love this
Simple
game.
enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Last I checked. But is it the bucket? I have... Listen to the music, dude. I mean, yeah, that's a bucket.
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket,
Oh.
not an actual
Well, shit. My intuition was right.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Intuition says yes.
Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
So it's a 3D printed bucket, motherfucker.
Item 3. Is this a bucket? Correct.
Yay!
This is a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket?
I mean... No.
Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket.
Cool.
To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme.
Right.
I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you.
Thanks, I was starting to
for
feel
not making me look
stupid.
like an idiot. Okay, next one.
I love this game so much, even though it makes me feel like a dumbass.
Is this a bucket?
Go fuck yourself.
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
Go fuck yourself.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
What? Wait a second. You gotta explain it, that one.
Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
I'm holding one. I mean, technically what's in front of me is not a bucket.
Yes, thank you. There's nothing here.
Ha-ha!
Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true.
Correct.
Unless, is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
No.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
I mean, it's certainly
Stanley,
possible.
I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart.
Don't you take it away from me!
But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay, here we go.
Don't you take the bucket from me!
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear?
Everything is a bucket.
Was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. My God, I had no idea. How could... Except me.
You better start
I'm not
talking,
a bucket
pal.
after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets.
Yay!
Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right
Well, that's
now.
good.
It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay?
Okay.
And we'll know that it's all a bucket. And
Yay.
if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Wait, but that mean if I go back and I say that everything is a bucket, then technically I'm right. Does that change what happens when I do the questions?
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere.
Okay.
Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
Bye. Thanks for the information. I appreciate it because now I feel like I'm gonna do better. Oh, but the...
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms.
You're goddamn
With
right
the bucket
it
in his
did.
arms again, he was home.
I am happy.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was
Come on,
wrong.
Bucket. We have stuff
Stanley
to
took the
do.
door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the...
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms.
Oh my god.
How deeply touching.
Hello, thank you so much for the hydrate.
A
Well,
soft
that
wind
was,
blew outside and perhaps rain
fucked
started,
up.
and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
Oh my. Okay, well, all the computers are saying very strange things. Oh. Meeting! Figurine finders. Oh no, I don't want to find the figurines. Fuck the figurines. Fucking collectible piece of shit.
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled.
Ah.
He'd never be alone again, not truly alone. Not with the bucket around.
Yay, bucket!
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Yay.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct?
No,
never
the bucket
mind.
was wrong.
The bucket was wrong.
But that's okay, Bucket. We're
Stanley
still gonna
took
be
the door on his
friends.
left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yeah. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Yay!
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Well, of course I did. If an
In
inanimate
here,
object
said the
ever
bucket.
talks
Go
to you,
into
you
this
have to
dark
do
room
what it
over
says.
here.
Those are the rules.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the...
Hello? Is it my bucket wife?
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely. and
Wait,
could
where's
use
my
a
bucket?
friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Bucket! Hi, Bucket. Okay, I will take you to work with me, but first, let me just kind of look around my apartment and be happy for a minute. This is a very small apartment, but you know what? You could learn to be happy here. We could be happy together.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Wait, I don't want therapy. I didn't ask for therapy.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Wait, this is actually making me very sad.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location.
Oh,
That's
solid.
it. It doesn't do anything
You can
else.
put rocks in the bucket. Don't listen to the wild man. Press F for us to go back home.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Are you jealous? You to ignore anyone in your life except for me. Bucket? I think this relationship is getting toxic. Bye, Jay. Thanks for hanging out with us. I hope you have a better rest of your day.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Was cute to go back home.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
I'm gonna lose my fucking mind! Oh, I'm already losing my mind and being convinced that this bucket is sentient, and then somebody with the same goddamn name as me just popped in the chat. Listen, dude, I'm going through some things right now. You're legally required to tell me that you're real, okay? You're not just a figment of my imagination. I hope you know that. Press J to relive the same day with me over and over.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Vertical, hey buddy, how you doing? Press O to go home to work to home to work to home to.
Oh no, I'm having feelings.
Oh,
The bucket. No, 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 no. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps
scared,
if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes, the bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
Hey baby, how's it going? What's all this about?
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me.
No.
Give me the bucket, Stanley.
No.
I need it. Give it to me now. Give
No.
it or I'll...
Go away. She's mine! I'm gonna lose my fucking mind, dude. What the hell? Okay, let me take a second here. Hey Vert, it's nice to see you again. It's been a while, my friend. And Eli, welcome. How's it going? Oh my
How
god.
wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally.
Wait.
This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted.
But I didn't get what I wanted. I want the bucket. I want the bucket and me to be together forever.
Good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together.
Another thrilling adventure. JC, thank you for the hydrate, and Mara for the stretch. It's going well, Eli. It's going very well. Alrighty. Shit's fucked. That's pretty obvious by now.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Someone has our name on Twitch without the underscores, but I can't find him. I know that there was somebody else on Twitch that was this guy, Eli. And if I remember correctly, that's why I have the
This was
underscores.
not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Okay, if I remember
And here
correctly,
it
there's
was,
one
that the
other
bucket
way
turned out
to
be
go
correct.
from this
Was no,
side,
Never mind. The bucket was wrong.
which is this doorway here.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting
Yeah,
room.
because through there you can jump down and die, jump to the platform, go into the room with the bucket, and either unplug the phone and do the comedy part, or go to the phone and it does the whole run through there.
And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Yeah, and this will take me back through as if I went left. But we're going to go down with the bucket. Have I memorized the endings? No, but I've, just from trial and error, I guess I've kind of figured out some of them and what I need to try next,
Oh,
you know?
good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I
Oh.
knew you'd find this place eventually.
Are you having an intervention for me, motherfucker?
You see, your friends and I are concerned for
God
Stanley.
damn it! Listen here, I don't have a problem, okay? I can let go of the bucket whenever I want. You leave me alone.
We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content.
Well,
We're the ones
I
that
love
now stand
him.
Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the adventure line? We could make the adventure line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
What if I just want to hang out in the broom closet? With my bucket. Ah! I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. Okay, broom closet, I love you. Computer, I love you. Pencil sharpener, I love you. Mannequin, coffee table, you're cool. Baby from the baby game, that's great. That's great. Adventure line, you will always have a place in my heart. You are fantastic. Can I go back? No, I cannot. Fine, I will.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Yeah! Hell yeah!
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue? Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
Listen here, asshole. I'm not getting rid of my bucket. Listen. We have formed a bond that goes past any sort of time or space. Okay? The bucket and I are a special thing, okay? You can't. What did you do?
Don't you get it, Stanley?
What is this?
We need to get rid of the bucket.
What is this?
That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
Eat my ass!
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable.
No!
True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character.
No!
With so much personality that to me, it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along.
Go to hell!
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley.
Go fuck
Say
yourself.
goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
No! No!
Now listen to me. It's
No!
crucial that you give it the bucket.
I don't wanna.
know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket.
I
Destroying
don't
buckets
care.
is all it knows. That
Well,
is
this
its
bucket is all I
singular
know.
Personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so
better
densely
start
loaded with
talking now.
complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits.
Go fuck
What
yourself.
other object in this game can you even say that about?
This
Broom
bucket
closet
is
says
mine.
not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this.
You can go merchandise
Okay, the
my
Bucket
ass.
Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it.
No.
We can't get back to the classic Stanley
No.
Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until
No.
you crush that damn bucket.
No.
Quickly now. The fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
Yeah, that's what I thought. Leave me alone. You can't just come up to me and tell me what to do, okay?
The Bucket Destroyer. My prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
That's what you get for trying to come between me and my bucket, asshole.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
I don't have to be alone.
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him.
As long as you and I are together, Bucket, nothing can ever go
Stanley
wrong.
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
So, we could go back to that side and go down and test out breaking the bucket if we really wanted to. Ooh. Oh no, what is this? Oh no! Reduce one plane to allow ease of access past the fence. Construct bridge to allow a collection of shiny flow. Retrieve Chris's remains from the warehouse floor. Chris, no! What is this bullshit? Trust the completionist instinct. I don't want these. Who took these pictures of them? I don't want them! Fuck off! I hate collectibles, dude! I don't like it. Figlies? You're gonna give them a name now? Ew! Weird spinning figurines. What do they want? Our data. Stock options. Someone in the cargo room? Do we need contracts for them? NDA? Can we sell them? Obviously. Maybe we are the collectibles. Shut the frick up. To whom it may concern, I managed to pick up sounds unusual to our regular office ambiances or local audio sources using an array of cardioid microphones. So now we're haunted. Analysis of the recordings allowed me to triangulate the source of the strange noise. Data shows that in all likelihood it's coming from a dark area behind a very warm place. I also picked up what looks to be reverberance off a porcelain surface. Anyone have any leads on this? What? Okay, well now I'm scared. Why are they acting like this is the most important thing in the world? Oh, I'm sorry, broom closet door.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy.
Fuck
it's
off!
As clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket.
You can't have it!
I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the
No!
broom closet is trying to say.
You've got
here.
the mop
It's supposed to
squeege
go
here.
with the other cleaning supplies.
No!
Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over
You
the bucket.
cannot take
I know
my
how
bucket
hard
from
it
me.
must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong.
I am.
This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend.
Mine.
You can't hand it over.
No.
Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has
Oh,
sunk
fuck
that
you,
it has
you
to resort
bitch.
to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket?
Yes.
Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments.
You!
Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
My relationship with this bucket is a tapestry, a painted tapestry of experiences and
I
emotions.
got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
You're goddamn right. Look at that. My bucket got a tramp stamp of me. You can fuck right
All
off,
right,
broom
I've got a
closet.
second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
see? I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, "Ah, it's a bucket." There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
Gasp is right, Blowfish. This is an obscenity. You can't do this to me, Broom Closet. Not after everything we've been through.
I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to
You
be honest,
bitch.
I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Yes. Good day, Broom Closet. Maybe when you find your manners, we can be friends again. But until then...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
I know.
Another miniature Stanley figure.
Fuck.
You know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I
Ew.
like that. Another Stanlerine.
No,
under
that's
your
terrible.
belt.
Okay, that note's the same, it seems.
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
Come on, Bucket.
He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fined for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times.
Yeah,
such as
Bucket. What's going on,
he
buddy?
held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket?
You
This
whore!
is terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it.
Bucket,
Far off in the distance,
where'd you go?
He heard it, calling to him. Stanley! Stanley, it's me!
I'm coming!
Bucket.
Don't worry!
Baby. He
No!
went forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next.
No.
None of them were
No.
his. None of them
No,
were his
this is
special
a fucking nightmare!
To me, Stanley.
No! Don't
He had
do this
find
to
the
me!
bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her work was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him.
You idiot!
Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. there were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass.
Heck
And she
yes.
backflipped all the way to work.
Wait, what?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I just want to say how amazing it is that all they did was bucketize every ending, and yet it's still amazing.
A
Yay!
strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction.
Definitely committed if it kept the stickers. Oh, Bucket, I love you.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
It's raining. Don't worry, Bucket. I know that you are mine. There will be a reward for finding them all. Oh my god. I want them so much. I want to go home. I hate this. Oh, it has hints about where they are. Somewhere both red and blue. I know that that has to do with the doors. A private but smelly place for an important person. Fuck. You literally just have to do, like, all of the secrets, but holding the bucket.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
Aw. Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's
Okay,
office.
so going all the way down here and going through there is instantaneous death. There is no other ending, because it's just that whole area. So let's go up. This feels a lot taller than I thought. So there's the executive bathroom. Yep.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley?
I
What
think
name better
Figley is
encapsulates the
better.
intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Figley's is so much better. To be rich, is it a crime? To commit crimes, isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. And wash my hands quick. There we go. Oh. Hi. Business strategy. What? Ah, yes. This completely new floor that I have reached. Oh, hello. I found you. Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him, always. The bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along?
Oh, he sure
Was
did.
the bucket guiding him?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. This is certainly the most logical explanation.
Naturally. That's the only explanation. How else could I possibly know that code? Not like I've done this before. Oh, hi, asshole.
You're getting close now, Stanley.
Fuck!
You've nearly gotten all of the
I don't
Fiddler
want
and the
them!
Reams. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines.
Stop changing the name! Stop it! I don't want them all. Why are you doing this to me? Please.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket.
Thank you, Bucket.
Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right.
Yes.
The bucket is here for you, Stanley.
Thank you, Bucket.
Everything will be fine.
I appreciate you.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
So, what if, funny story, we do this one first?
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
True. However, what if...
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
We could. Bucket,
At
do you
this
trust
point,
me?
Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Bucket, you trust me, right? Right? Right?
As the machine
So
whirled
listen,
into motion
Bucket.
and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be.
Oh!
To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket. But what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself. And he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere.
Listen, Bucket.
Farewell, Stanley.
I'm sorry. Ah!
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
I'm sorry, Bucket.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket.
It really is.
It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way.
Naturally.
But this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
It truly is. Welcome to the grand exhibit. You stand at the precipice of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within, a cavernous void. But through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and substantiated. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were, in ignorance and darkness?
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
I mean, ow, but yes, true. A bucket with 2 handles. Such a design has never been created in real life, having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Every year, dozens are put to death just for attempting it. 25 buckets. A photograph of 25 buckets, the greatest number of buckets ever captured on camera. The photographer experienced catatonic shock for several weeks as a result of the euphoria from exposure to this many buckets at once. That's definitely more than 25. Unless some of those buckets are not buckets. Inferno bucket. A replica of the Inferno bucket in which the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet in spite of it all, the simple fact remains, no one can control a bucket. The stress bucket, an analogy. Vulnerability equals size and strength of the bucket. Coping strategy equals holes. Stress equals the level of water in the bucket. Presented without commentary. Huh. Fascinating. Truly fascinating. While we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind, we do not know by how long. This cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical uses of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been around for millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures. We are so lucky.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
The hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more that is always out of reach. This distance, inevitably, is for our own good. Come here, bucket! Yeah! You're mine!
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
Oh.
Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
Woo! Oh.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Welcome to the whiteboard ending. Oh no! Hold on.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference. Nor the embrace of an old friend, a weathered companionship that stands the test of time.
Oh no. Oh no, what is this shit? Wait. Hold on, I just got an achievement that said you can't jump. No, seriously, we disabled it.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay,
This was not the correct
first things
way to the
first.
meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
I have to test this. I don't want to, but I have to.
Oh, good Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I
Eat
knew
my
you'd
ass.
find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much.
Oh, I'm sure
It's
you
this
do.
bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel.
They
want
did
more
mention
of
a
their
fireplace.
favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what... Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up. Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me, it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready. Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is
I
its
can't
singular
give it.
personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters?
I can't get
Well,
rid
you
of
see,
it.
if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you'd see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity
Yay!
and nuance
I
that
can't
it's
get rid
really
of
like
it.
10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The Broom Closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and...
Never!
We can't get back
It's
to the
mine!
classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
Go to hell!
The Bucket Destroyer. My prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spell-binding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For
Goodbye.
the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Oh. Wow. Well, that was just as intense as the last time.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay, so there is
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stick. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Okay, so there's a couple more things with the bucket that are possible, from what I can tell now. The elevator is just a joke. I swear there's something else in this room.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Certainly the most logical explanation. The bucket is such a great friend, you almost sacrificed her. True, I'm a legitimately terrible person. Very much so. I'm simply the worst.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Alright, bucket. We got a couple of things left to try. You and me.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Don't worry, bucket. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. They can't get away with this.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
It's gonna be okay, I promise. We're gonna get through this together.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do?
Bucket.
What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place?
I'm so sorry, Bucket.
These questions raised furiously.
You deserve so much better. You deserve so much better.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter, his one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
It's just you and me, friend. Just you and me.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends,
You're
Stanley and the
goddamn
bucket,
right.
up against the world.
You and me, buddy. To the end.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door.
If we
The
get out of
bucket
here,
wanted to
buddy,
learn to
we can
roller
do
skate.
whatever you want
Stanley
to
wanted
do.
to skate
Roller
in
skate?
every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end.
Ooh.
True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together.
You and me,
with
buddy.
one another to lean on, to trust, to support.
What?
Wait, what was happening?
You asshole!
Why
Don't
had
you
the
do
door
this
stopped?
to me!
Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed?
No!
An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave.
You can't have him!
Itself recognized the
No!
incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing
No!
warmth of the bucket.
No!
Would go to any lengths
Don't do this
to
to me!
the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it.
Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Well, that's fucking sad. God damn it. Oh, it truly is heaven. Oh, and they come back on, so I can always press more. Oh. I'm truly in heaven. Yes! Yes! This is what I've always wanted! This is all I've ever needed in my life! Yes! Oh. Truly, I am in heaven.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply...
Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket.
Nope.
But Stanley is a very lucky fellow.
So lucky.
Very lucky indeed.
So lucky.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Let's go, bucket. We've got one more fucking thing to find. And one more solid ending that I know of for sure.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional... But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket
Sheer
knew
luck.
all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
Don't worry,
Yes,
bucket.
This is certainly the most logical explanation.
There's one more way to go in this side that I know of. And then after that, I think we're done with the bucket. I don't think there's anything else I could do with the bucket after that. The only other thing I can think of now is to get
Stanley
the last...
and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
To get the last, what's it called? Thing. It said
rose
somewhere red
on an
and blue.
enormous
There
room
is a
packed
thing
with
you can do
television
where you get a
screens.
red and blue
What
door.
horrible secret did this place hold?
But I don't remember
Stanley
exactly how
and
to
the
do
bucket
it, and I
both
don't think I can do it with
wondered
the
to
bucket. I
themselves.
think I have to do it barehanded. To get the last figurine, exactly.
Monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock.
The last stand
Everyone in the office
figurine.
was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
It's gonna be okay, buddy. I promise.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Feeble? Hey, wait.
No! He screamed
Wait a
into the
second.
bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
You're goddamn right. It's
But
just
here
you and
was
me,
the
buddy.
proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in,
Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system. But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along?
Bucket?
To take over the machine and claim the power for itself?
What are you doing?
How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds.
Oh.
The control buttons became active again. Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world.
Yay!
The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place.
That's okay.
Flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best.
Surely.
And Stanley was happy.
Look at them all. Look at them all. Look at all these birds. That right there, my friends, is
Stanley
real
knew the office
happiness.
layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others.
It takes a lot of humility
Shit.
to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley checked his ego and then proceeded onward. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket
There's
was
nothing
wrong.
on this right
Stanley
side
took the door on
anymore.
his left to go back,
Pretty sure.
and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Damn it. Ah! Okay, yeah, I think I can't use the bucket for anything else.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Shit. There's the two endings in there. The ending downstairs, but the ending downstairs, well, the ending downstairs takes a while. Fuck. Okay, well, I guess I'm doing one of these ones.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even
Emotional
now,
dumpster
in his
fire.
darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark cloud, but Stanley guessed the correct code by...
Okay, hold on. Oh, right. I can just restart. Okay,
All
it
of his
gave me...
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, I'm sorry, Bucket, but I have to...
Stanley went
I have to
around
leave you
touching
now.
when Stanley came to a set of two open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay, so... I can go out here, I can unplug the phone, I can listen to the phone, I can jump off, I can jump onto the... Oh, hold on.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years
Sure,
ago.
that's a thing.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
Ah!
Let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
Got it.
Give me a chance.
And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
I just managed to find most of them. This thing is the only one that I actually, like, looked for.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Okay, so see, this is where things are tasty. I go through the red door, and if I remember, I don't remember if it takes me back to the main game or if it... I don't remember.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Yay.
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy. No, wait. Where are you going?
I'm sorry, narrator. The game has to end.
Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
I'm sorry.
No! Oh. No. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why
I'm
do you do
sorry!
this? Stanley, let's go back to the other room. My God, is this really how much you dislike my game?
I'm
That you'll throw
sorry.
yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You were literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
I'm sorry.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Oh, it cleaned everything up.
Stanley,
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Whoa,
I have to put
that
a pause on
that hurt
things.
my
It's
eyes.
just- It's those figurines, those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment
freaky,
of your
dude.
entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone?
The memory
I
zone!
would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines.
Yes!
Just one more time.
Of course, buddy, of course. After what I just did to you, of course. Oh. Oh. What the fuck? Why is this? I don't think this was supposed to be this way, right? Oh,
Here's
never
where
mind.
it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
What's this? What? Hold on. Wait a second. Wait a second. Oh shit, now I can't go back. Okay.
And here was a second Stanley. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the warehouse. You did that, Stanley.
I
I'll be
did.
honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Okay. You don't have to be such an asshole.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini stand?
Oh,
Can you
under the
remember?
stairs.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here, under the stairs. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them.
Ooh.
I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
That's not true, but okay.
Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh well,
What?
I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
Ah! I got some questions, buddy. I got some questions. Then, yeah, there was one in here. That's
This was
true.
the 5th mini stand, and this one was really something special. It
Oh,
was behind the boss's
sure.
office. I remember it so clearly.
Yeah.
In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion.
Oh.
Enjoy.
With like super old school fucking video effects. I love this game, dude. I'm gonna lose my mind, dude. The high five fucking pick art. Clip art, what the hell? Dude. Best boy, the narrator.
Takes you back, doesn't it?
Oh,
I
it
spent a
sure
lot of
does.
time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Ah, fair enough. I have a feeling like maybe that one in the pink room, if I'd actually picked it up, it would have been something special. Because I didn't
And then,
have
Stanley,
that one.
then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors.
Oh,
This
yeah.
memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're
Indeed.
all collected.
Indeed.
It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Right. Naturally. Oh, these both go to the same place now. I like it. This is great, dude. You are in the
And
present.
then there was no more.
Oh.
Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone.
Oh. Okay. Interesting.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the Memory Zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
What the fuck is this?
Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this.
Yes.
I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the Memory Zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind.
Naturally.
Let's keep going. I want more.
Of course, buddy. Whatever you want. After everything I put you through, you can have it. That's for sure.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
I do. Please don't make me watch it again. Fuck you, you piece of shit.
Yes, I love that video.
God damn it. Back to the pink place.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
A solid room, yeah. Solid room. Great. Great room. Just great. Fantastic.
These really were a treat to hunt down.
Yeah.
You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them.
It sure would have,
I'm very glad
yeah.
we resisted the temptation.
Mm-hmm.
Next one.
Yep. Hold on. But what's over here? Nothing. Cool. Alrighty then. Oh, we can go back out.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it?
Right?
Keep going.
Aww. And here we are
This is
in
it.
the spooky
the
body
first
room.
one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
You being upset? Oh, wait, what? Oh, yeah, that's right. This was part of that exhibit, the collectibles exhibit. And the jumping circle.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories.
I love this. This is fucking amazing.
Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one. And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office?
Well, there was a
There's
cinematic.
something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
Is it gonna play the fucking cinematic?
Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
What the fuck?
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
Stanley cradled the bucket
Wait,
in a gentle embrace, protective yet delicate.
So am I
yet compassionate.
done?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling
I
him
don't know if
that
it's
the
actually
employee
done or if it's gonna
lounge
do
was
something
simply
else.
the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else.
Okay,
the
so
cargo
that thing
lift,
is
yes.
gone.
Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching. Stanley's bucket, the only co-worker he would ever truly need.
I don't like this.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to
Wait,
the
was that
meeting
just
room,
like an alternate
but
start?
Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him,
But it
telling
didn't actually
him
do
that
anything?
The employee lounge was simply the place to be.
What the hell?
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind.
Okay, so
The
I think that
bucket
was just an
wrong.
alternate start.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
So I have answered the phone.
No,
Said the bucket.
Answering the phone
Don't
does
go
the
to the meeting
whole,
room. Go somewhere else.
like,
The
depressing
cargo
ass
lift, yes.
therapy ending.
good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's
Or,
something
sorry,
up
the
there
depressing
I need
ass
you to
I
do.
need therapy ending.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
I think I've done all of the endings that involve the bucket. So all of like the new
In here,
stuff,
said the
essentially.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Because
Now pick up
unplugging,
the phone.
unplugging does
Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Yeah. So unplugging the phone does the comedy question ending. Answering the phone takes me to the depressing like therapy ending here. The depressing like mental breakdown
This
ending.
is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely
Yeah.
and could use a friend.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go through that. That's depressing. It's actually really sad. Yeah. So other than that, I think I've done all of the expansion content.
The meeting room, yes, that's where everyone would be.
Including-
Stanley
and I did
just
a
needed
couple
to
of,
get
like,
to the
the
meeting room,
standard
and from then
game
on,
stuff.
he would never be alone ever again.
Yeah. So I think that should be everything new. I've done everything with the bucket. The only other things I can think of is I could go back and do the red door multiple times, which he'll then make me play Minecraft for 2 seconds, and then make the adventure line, and then the whole world kind of breaks down, and then there's a clock, and he resets. the normal ending where you turn off the machine, the normal ending where you turn on the machine and then everything explodes. And as far as I know, there is no way to turn off the explosion, but there might be, certainly. But I think it's a situation where you're supposed to feel helpless because of that. And then of course, the normal versions of like going downstairs in the elevator and shit. Yeah. So I think I've done everything. Let me just make one quick cursory run over here.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
Go through
he
there.
entered
It
the
leads
door on his left.
to the meeting room. Through the meeting room, it leads to the stairs, which goes upstairs and downstairs. And I already did all of that.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Yeah. So
Perhaps
this
he
go
wanted to
goes
stop by the
through
employee lounge first, just to admire it.
employee lounge. Then there's this
It was
hallway,
okay.
which leads to either
But eager to get back
this
to business,
doodly-daddle.
Stanley took the first open door on his left.
or this. Going down into the basement. I don't remember exactly what going down to the basement does from here. This...
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I do think that this one
Look,
ending is
Stanley,
kind
I
of
think
funny in
perhaps
a way.
we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy.
I'll do this
really,
one
I'm
last
not.
ending, and then I think
I
we're going to
realize
call
that
it for
investing
tonight.
Your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. I'm asking, this is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. Sorry, but you're in my story now. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Yeah.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
I am sad.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Good times.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. and down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions, and down another was a game with a baby, and he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again.
I'm
over and
depressed.
over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
I'm depressed.
But there is no answer.
Bye, sweetheart.
How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Yeah! So, to say...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Is Stanley, without the bucket, really Stanley at all? No, surely not.
So to say the least, I love this bucket. And, oh, this guy's playing solitaire. Hell yeah. I think that is everything. I think that is about everything I can do in the Stanley Parable's new stuff anyways. Yeah! That was a fucking experience. Oh wow, this is still spooky.